Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Thank you. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, and home-brewed 5e items for your games. Today we're bringing to life the whip-wielding ninja of Mortal Kombat, Takeda. In the original timeline, Takeda was the student of Scorpion and the son of Kenshi, combining their traits into a badass, whip-loving ninja armed with psionic abilities. In the new timeline, that was thrown out the window. Now Takeda and Kenshi are cousins who are former Yakuza. While Kenshi dedicates his life to protecting people, Takeda has vowed to rid the world of the criminal underworld. Regardless of the timeline, there is little difference between Takeda's abilities, with the exception of the psionic abilities being removed in the new timeline. In battle, Takeda dons a high-tech ninja suit that allows him to wield wrist-mounted weapons, normally in the form of razor-lined whips that can be heated to burn as well as cut. In MK10, these whips can condense down to form short blades that would then reach extreme temperatures. He's also armed with explosive shurikens that can be set to detonate on impact or have delayed timers. Finally, in the original timeline, Scorpion taught him the power of teleportation, but the new timeline he just teleports. Seriously, I know I said this a lot, but what's with all the teleporting? Mortal Kombat has a lot of teleporters and a lot of names that begin with K. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on those minimums should you use another system. Make intelligence 15, dex 14, strength 13, con 12, wisdom 10, and we're dumping charisma with an 8. Jackie doesn't exist in this new timeline, so you don't really need a personality. Takeda is a human, resourceful, allows you to give yourself an inspiration dice at the end of a long rest if you don't have one, but I'd like to point out the rules for heroic inspiration states that you can give it to another character that doesn't have one when you receive it. Skillful gives you a free skill, take perception. Versatile gives you a bonus origin feat. For this feat, Savage Attacker gives you a better chance at causing some serious damage. Now when you roll damage with a weapon, you can roll 2 sets of damage dice and choose which one to use. To finish out your lineage, you know the language common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into dex and +1 into intelligence. For your origin feat, Magic Initiate is going to give you your first tech weapons, choosing 2 cantrips and 1 first level spell from either the Cleric, Druid, or Wizard spell list. You then choose your spellcasting modifier from Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. Make your spellcasting stat Intelligence and jump over to Druid. For your spells, Thorn Whip lashes out with a melee spell attack out to 30 feet and deals 1d6 piercing damage. If the creature is a size category large or small, you can then pull them towards you by 10 feet. Guidance improves certain skills. For 1 minute while you maintain the spell, you touch a willing creature, including yourself, and pick 1 skill. While the spell is active, the creature adds 1d4 to the chosen skill. Long Strider adds 10 feet to your total movement for 1 hour. Good news, you can cast Long Strider without a spell slot once per long rest. For your skills, grab Arcana and Insight. To finish out your background, take proficiency in Tinkerer's Tools. Level 1 rogues start off with 4 skills. Take Athletics, Acrobatics, Stealth, and Sleight of Hand. You are proficient in all weapons that have the Finesse or Light properties, Thieves' Tools, Light Armor, and the saving throws, Dex, and Intelligence. Expertise doubles the proficiency bonus to 2 skills you have. Place this into Stealth and Acrobatics. Thieves' Cant gives you more languages. You know the language Thieves' Cant, which is a coded language used by rogues, and 1 more of your choice. Weapon Mastery unlocks special properties with your weapons. At the end of a long rest, you choose 2 for your weapons you are proficient with. For these masteries, Whip gives you the Slow Mastery, which reduces the speed of a creature you hit with this weapon by 10 feet. Short Sword gives you Vex, which gives you advantage on your next attack against a creature you've hit with this weapon before the end of your next turn. Sneak Attack allows you to deal bonus damage. Once per turn, you can deal this damage when you hit with a weapon that has the Finesse or Range property, and you have advantage on the attack or an ally is within 5 feet of the target. This damage starts off at 1d6, but will grow over time. Level 1 fighters begin with bonus proficiencies. You are now proficient in all weapons, medium armor, and shields. Fighting style gives you a fighting style feat. For this feat, unarmed fighting makes your unarmed strikes 1d8 plus your strength modifier when you are holding nothing in your hand, and you can automatically deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage to a creature you are grappling at the start of your turn. I'd rather have given you 2 weapon fighting, but whip is not a light weapon, even though it weighs the same as a scimitar. I'm assuming they did this because the whips are rather unique and can be challenging to wield as they are so long. If you want, talk to your DM about this, and maybe they'll believe whips should be light. If they do, switch the feat to 2 weapon fighting. Second Wind lets you heal yourself 1d10 plus your fighter level with a bonus action twice per long rest, but you regain 1 use at the end of a short rest. Weapon mastery is the same here, except you have more options, like 3 right now, and you will get more as you level up. I would say these don't stack together and you just get the better of the 2. Level 2 fighters now have Action Surge. You can give yourself a free action once per short or long rest, but you can only cast spells once per turn. Tactical Mind allows you to use your Second Wind to help with skill checks. Now when you fail a skill check, you can use your Second Wind to add 1d10 to the check, and if it still fails, you don't lose the use of Second Wind. Level 3 fighters receive their subclass. Eldritch Knight, found in the player's handbook, is going to give you more tech and weapons. War Bond lets you bond with up to 2 weapons at the end of a long rest. Once bonded, you can now summon one of them with a bonus action, and while holding them, you can't be disarmed while wielding them unless you are incapacitated. Spell casting makes you a quarter caster, which means you can cast spells but not even half as good as a full caster. You start off with 2 cantrips and 3 first level spells. For your spells, Firebolt throws a shuriken out to 120 feet and detonates, dealing 1d10 fire damage on a hit. Sword Burst from Tasha spins your whips around you, hitting every creature within 5 feet, forcing a dex save and dealing 1d6 force damage on a failure. Magic Missile throws 3 homing shurikens out to 120 feet and auto hit and deal 1d4 plus 1 per shuriken. Feather Fall slows your falling with a reaction for 1 minute, and if you hit the ground while the spell is active, you take no fall damage. For your last spell, take what you want. Maybe Disguise Self for some more ninja infiltration. Level 4 fighters earn our first ability score improvement, Bump Up Dex for more stealth, attack, damage, and AC. You also now have 3 uses of Second Wind per long rest and can have up to 4 weapon masteries. For your new spell, take what you want. You've reached character level 5, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. Firebolt, Thorn Whip, and Sword Burst now deal 2 damage dice each. Level 5 fighters gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Tactical Shift allows you to move half your speed when you use Second Wind, and this movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Level 2 rogues now have Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions to you. Level 3 rogues receive their subclass. Thief from the player's handbook is going to improve your movement. Second Story Work gives you a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and now your jump distance is based on your dex instead of your strength. Fast Hands makes sleight of hand checks and using objects into bonus actions. Steady Aim lets you give yourself advantage on your next attack by using your bonus action on a turn you haven't moved, but your speed is now 0 until the end of your current turn. Finally, your sneak attack is now 2d6 extra damage. Level 4 rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 5 rogues gain Uncanny Dodge. You can now use your reaction to halve damage you take from an attack when you can see what is hitting you. Cunning Strike adds 1 effect to your sneak attack by sacrificing damage dice. For these effects, Trip costs 1d6, and after you hit a creature, you force a dex save if they are a size category large or smaller, dropping them to prone if they fail. Withdrawal costs 1d6 and allows you to move half your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity. Poison costs 1d6 and allows you to force a con save and poison them if they fail, but you need a poisoner's kit with this one. I feel this should have been an assassin Cunning Strike, since the subclass also improves this Cunning Strike. But who cares, Trip really fits the build, so I'll take it. Finally, your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Place this into intelligence for better spell attack and DC. You're now character level 11. Firebolt, Thorn Whip, and Sword Burst now deal 3 damage dice each. Level 7 Eldritch Knight Fighters now have War Magic. You can now replace one of your attacks with a wizard cantrip if it has a casting time of 1 action. So this means Thorn Whip is out as it's not a wizard cantrip. You also now have 2nd level spells. For your new spell, Misty Step is a 30-foot teleportation you make with a bonus action. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Intelligence. For your new spell, Hold Person wraps your whips around one humanoid within 60 feet. You force a wisdom save, and if they fail, they are paralyzed for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. A paralyzed creature can retake the save at the end of each of their turns, ending the spell on a success. Remember, a paralyzed creature automatically fails strength and dex saves. This means you can knock them prone with your sneak attack and automatically hit them with Sword Burst. You've reached character level 13, bump up your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 9 fighters receive Indomitable. You can now re-roll 1 failed saving throw between long rests. Tactical Master lets you replace 1 mastery property on a weapon with the mastery properties of Push, Sap, or Slow. Level 10 Eldritch Knight Fighters gain Eldritch Strike. Now when you hit a creature with an attack, they have disadvantage on their next saving throw caused by a spell you cast before the end of your next turn. You now have 4 uses of Second Wind and 5 weapon masteries. For your spells, Scorching Ray throws 3 burning shurikens out to 120 feet and deals 2d6 fire damage on a hit. Each shuriken can target a different creature or all the same one. Mage Hand sends out a spectral whip out to 30 feet for 1 minute, and you can use this whip to perform simple tasks like open things or grab objects that weigh no more than 10 pounds. Level 11 fighters now have extra attack times 2. You can attack up to 3 times with a single attack action. For your new spell, Magic Weapon turned a non-magical weapon into a magical one. For 1 hour, this weapon gains +1 to attack and damage. You can only use this spell on 1 weapon at a time. Level 12 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Let's place this into Charisma to wipe out that negative. You've reached the final milestone, character level 17. Max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Firebolt, Thorn Whip, and Sword Burst now deal 4 damage dice each. Level 13 fighters receive a second use of Indomitable between long rest. Studied Attack gives you advantage on your next attack against a creature that you have missed with an attack before the end of your next turn. You now have 3rd level spells. For your new spell, Fireball throws a shuriken out to 150 feet and then explodes into a 20-foot radius sphere. Each creature within the sphere must make a dex save or take 8d6 fire damage. Level 14 fighters earn our final ability score improvement, and I have some good news for you. Since you are now character level 19, you have access to epic boon feats. I'm not going to give you any because I don't feel any of them fit with you, but you can customize this how you wish. I'm the only one bound by the lore here, so I'm placing this into Wisdom for better perception and insight. For your final spell, Haste lets you pull a serious combo. For 1 minute while you maintain this spell, you gain several features. Your speed is doubled, you gain +2 to your AC, you have advantage on dex saves, and you get a free action that can be a single weapon attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use the object action. I'd go with the weapon since you already do all the other stuff with a bonus action. Once this spell ends, you are tired until the end of your next turn, during which time your speed becomes 0 and you are incapacitated. Our final level is level 15 fighter, and Eldritch Knights gain Arcane Charge. Now when you use your action surge, you can teleport 30 feet for free, and this can be before or after your additional action. Now that you've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 13, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 12, Charisma 10. Your total class levels are Fighter 15, Rogue 5. Let's dive in. You're ready for the fight. You can magically summon your whip, or maybe a short sword with a bonus action, and then can attack up to 3 times normal or 6 times with an action surge. Using a whip, you're dealing 1d4 +5 +3d6 damage. You can add +1 to both the attack and damage, slow the enemy down, and you can add effects to your sneak attack like knocking them down on the ground. You can also give yourself advantage on the attack multiple ways, roll multiple damage dice and choose which to use, and paralyze your enemy. You can throw exploding shurikens shurikens out to 120 feet with the most basic shuriken attack, dealing 4d10 fire damage on a hit. You can also switch them out to auto hit or strike multiple targets. Finally, you're a damn ninja warrior. Your stealth is plus 17, you can add 1d4 to this, and if you mess up the roll, you can add a d10 to bring that up. You can also teleport 30 feet, you have a 20-foot long jump, an 8-foot high jump, you have a climbing speed of 30 feet, which you can increase to 40 feet, can double your speed, and finally, you can heal yourself 1d10 plus 15. Downside. Firstly, you're using a whip. While it has amazing reach, it only does 1d4 and it isn't light, so you can't dual wield it like in the game. You're not Trevor Belmont. You don't have a lot of concentration spells, but because you're a quartercaster, you gain spells slower than normal and only have 9 spell slots. Finally, you're not lasting long in the tournament with just over 130 HP taking average. This whole build is about giving you the edge in a fight, so use your better reach and speed to your advantage. The criminal underworld that expands through multiple realms needs taken down, and it's not going to happen if you're not smart in the fight. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Dens, Burton, and Jonathan Haynes. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.